right, finally uninterrupted. Bird just flew into my window. That was fun. Okay, we're going to check out very, very beautiful comic. Travis Charest, art for inspiration. WILDCATS X-Men Golden Age #1. Now I got a frog in my throat, of course. So, all right, check it. This is like my third or fourth copy. You can see it's a beater copy. I do know that when this thing came out, it became many of our artists, contemporaries of mine and myself, almost like an art Bible, you know. Late 80s, there was a lot of artists who probably considered theirs to be Uncanny X-Men Annual 9, things like that. But yeah, around Y2K-ish, definitely this book right here was on everyone's radar. We were all pulling and swiping from it, and there's a lot of good reasons why. So I know all of us were influenced by it, and continue to be. Few artists need to credit their entire career to this single release right here. So yeah, Travis just really broke the mold with this book right here. If you're not familiar with it, Travis Charest previously before this was doing a bunch of WildCATS work, similarly styled to this, but this was an expanse into using ink wash with the inks. So he was inking himself and then also creating tonal values through ink wash. The overall feel to this, it's got a lot of Travis in it because Travis has very specific faces that he draws, but also very reminiscent of like Mignola. Not as loose, not as cartoony, obviously, but it has a lot of the same aspects of layout design, things like that. All right, so this was the American one here, wrecked copy. I got other wrecked copies in long boxes. I think I only have one of this in mint condition, signed by Travis and Scotty Lobdell, the writer. Moved to Arizona in 2009. Found this bad boy. Mine was used, so it's got a little bit of a shelf wear, but it's a foreign edition hardcover, and I'm going to show you. I should have put the camera out a bit more. You can see the scale here. Let's put it down in this corner, and you can see it's an oversized edition. It's pretty close to, if you're familiar with the Barry Windsor Smith Weapon X Deluxe, it's about the same size as that, all right? So, pretty big book. So it'd be like 13 by 8.5. So something else in here. Take note. We're gonna breeze through this. Making this video right now because I got a pot pie in the oven and I do gotta pull it out. Something I know, man, these pages are really thick in this book. There's a lot of artwork that got cut off in the traditional comic, I noticed. Things like this. You got some filigree later on. There's stuff that did get cut in the printed American version, top and bottom, vertically. So that's kind of interesting. Also, these pages are really yellow. You can see the detail a lot better in here. Maybe not you per se, but I can. If you do end up tracking one of these down, these hardcovers, it is produced by what is that called? Soleil. So this foreign producer of American comics in hardcover and deluxe formats. So yeah, again, I'm gonna flip through this. This is art for inspiration. We're not worried about the language or the words, but you can see it's very obviously much larger scaled. A lot of rendering in here I wasn't even aware occurred in here that we can see in this one. So if you're a sucker like I am for every single noodle that Scott throws on the, or that Travis threw on the page, Liddell doesn't draw. All right, so I'm just going to flip through here, check this out, and I'll try to move the book accordingly a little bit. A lot of pages here, like I said, and I got to get this pot pie out of the oven, so I'm on a little bit of a timer here. But yeah, this entire book is beautiful. If you miss anything here, go out and buy a copy. Get yourself the American one. Trade paperback too. There's an entire trade paperback containing all the WildCat X-Men stories. You're also going to get really cool stuff in there from, like Adam Hughes. I think Ryan Benjamin did something in there. And I know that trade also includes all the variant covers. So, yeah, my throat is just not giving up today. Yeah, this entire book is dope. It makes me want to go back and try this again. There was a 2-year span where I actually had quite a bit of published work, very similar to this. I was doing wash ink type work over my lines like this, but I was cheating a little bit. I was using a little bit of Prismacolor, and to get some of those really subtle grays that pop out of a sleeve making contact with the skin, things like this. Yeah, and I'm still not entirely sure exactly what his technique was. Nowadays, I'm going to be quite honest, if you wanted to do a book like this or just original artwork in this fashion, I would highly recommend inking it with like fine liners. You're going to want to use like either a Faber-Castell or a Uni-Pen. I cannot vouch for Pigmas. But when you go over it with a grayscale of whatever your medium happens to be, I would say this, you could probably do this really easily these days, just using grayscale, the cool version grayscale Copic markers, brush tip, that we don't end up with any of that marker nonsense. And then maybe mix it up, but if I was to do this book, if I had the demands put on me that, hey, it's got to look like this work here, I would definitely not do an ink wash method with it. I would probably just go straight up Copics, grayscale. Any of this color stuff, it has a greenish tint, I would just do that in Photoshop. This would be, the entire page would just be gray and black. Yeah, I would hate to put in, this much, the rendering on everything, and throw a color wash over top of it, and then it's just, whole page falls apart. That'd be terrible. So yeah, and I will point out too, definitely Travis's influence on this book, he definitely had some Mignola sitting on his table, because there's a few faces here that are straight out of a Mignola run of books. It's the Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser, and they're straight out of panels. Like a few of us have found them, so which is fun. It's gonna happen. We all say swipey, no swipey, but sometimes it happens. But yeah, this is great. I really miss this era of Travis. I can't really connect with his newest work. I really like this stuff because I think it just reads easier to me. It's that in-between moment between going like a little bit of realism, but he still was holding on to the Jim Lee influence, and then also fusing it with the Mignola layout design sort of elements. Yeah, it's just a really, it's just a really, really special book. It's really cool. Yeah, I can't really comment too much on this thing because it's like everything about it is awesome. Like quite honestly, everything about it is awesome. Even these panels like this, they're still super dope. Even though like this is like a in and out, you know, all the time was invested here, and this one here is just like a uninspired. But then you come back to this stuff, and it's just it's really awesome. Great style for, you know, it's supposed to be like a, you know, obviously a World War II time piece, and yeah, his style just really works so good with this. I can't imagine this story having gotten drawn better by anybody else working at Wildstorm at that time. So not even Jim Lee. I think Jim, until Travis was drawing like this, and then he rolled out of this and started doing what was that book, like C-23 covers, and he had the Wildstorm New Horizons covers and things like that. Um, he kind of flipped the script a little. Started noticing Jim Lee pulling from him. Lionel Yu, Rob Liefeld even. There's like 2 or 3 books where every single Liefeld face looked like this. It was like straight up Travis inspired, the noses and the rendering. So yeah, like when he you know, he got brave and he did this totally different approach for a book, and it was just, it looks so cool. Like everyone jumped on it. Um, I wasn't old enough to experience it, but I imagine that what this book did for modern artists when it came out is probably pretty similar to like when Sienkiewicz Electras started coming out. You know, they started just really, because it was so, it just was so different compared to everything else on the shelf, but it was just really awesome art. Um, I can't really think of many game changers I've witnessed in real time. I think this book is definitely one. Um, Alex Ross Marvels is absolutely another one. Yeah, there's a particular run of Uncanny X-Men books by Jim Lee that were also hugely influential to like 90% of people trying to break into the business at the time. More so than the X-Men relaunch. X-Men relaunch was kind of, I don't want to say phoned in. It was just get in and out, you know. And then I feel like Jim didn't really start making strides again until, I love this so much right here. It's so cool. Yeah, this text is really rad. A lot of Star Wars influence in here too. Yeah, my brain is going all over the place right now. But yeah, Jim Lee, even though this is a Travis stream, Jim Lee didn't really start hitting strides again until after uh, helping start Image, and then probably like, I would say like WildCATS, the Killing Instinct books maybe. So what was that, like 5 or 6? But yeah, man. This, when this book came out, it really, I think it rejuvenated a lot of artists. Like it made drawing fun again. Um, Showed you that not everything you can rely on just some heavy shadows. Even though Mignola had been doing it forever, sometimes you need to see another artist do it. Someone who you connect with earlier, who's not committed to only that one style, and they're kind of like transitioning to another style or pulling elements from another style. And then you can see that it actually works really well with this like super linear artist, which Travis was and is still. But his approach now is, it's so organic. It's just, to me, I just like, again, I don't connect. It feels a little more like Adam Hughes style to me, and Yeah, this right here is dope. The favorite era Travis here. WILDCATS 2.0, definitely. So yeah, that's the end of this in this book here. I think that there is, yeah, so it has, this was, I believe this was a second printing. I'm not sure. I only own this in pinup form. I don't own a cover with this here. It might have been a short print cover. Um, Dang, her hair looks so awesome. And then this was the Jim Lee variant, fashion forward. This is very late 90s, hitting the 2000s Jim. And it's okay. It's not bad. It's not bad. But yeah, we're here for Travis today. Jim Lee gets plenty of stage time on my channel, by the way. So even this one kind of hijacked my brain for a second thinking about Jim. But yeah, like if you can track this book here down, good luck. But I do recommend you grab it. I don't know anything about price points. I think when this thing came out, I think it was like $19. And like I said, this is a beat copy, and it was beat like this when I bought it. So the original owner had already had their way with it. Let's see here. So yeah, Soleil. I think. Let me see if there's anything with the printing on it with the year. I don't. Which is really weird. I don't think there is, but which is interesting. Okay, so it is a French edition. It says, well, it has the copyright info as 2000, but that's not correct. When this book was in print, I'm just going to say 2009. This is just the original info in French here. I'm going to say 2009 when this came out. This absolutely was not out in 2000. Yeah, I would have sold my soul for this thing back then. Like, this was not out. This one was, though. But again, yeah, if you can track it down, good luck. Grab it. This one is also awesome, obviously. This is just standard comic size. And then the trade paperback of the WildCat X-Men trade might actually be a cheaper route if this sucker is hard to find. That's not completely wrecked like all of my copies. So anyways, yeah, happy hunting. And thanks for watching. All right, guys.